have a moment of silent meditation and pledge to the flag. Thank you. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Call to order, all three county commissioners here. It's December 7th, 2022, and it's 10:03. And we'll have consents and approvals first, and then I'm going to ask to move the agenda around after that.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning. So we have 5 exonerations for $784.92, minutes for November 30th, 2022, vouchers, General County Fund, $441,079.03, Magistrate Court, $139.78, 911, $403, Camp Muffley, $500.30, Mason-Dixon Park, $853.90, Mon County Center, $3,607.25, Assessor's valuation, $4,944.81. Payroll, $1,800,614. Star City TIF, $4,869.25. Mon County ARPA, $73,959.20. Purchasing card vouchers, General County, $106,309.40. Camp Muffley, $874.75. Mason-Dixon Park, $252.06. Assessor's valuation, $4,595.25 for a voucher total of $2,443,001.98. We have position vacancies for boards and authorities listed on our website, fiduciary orders for December 7th, 2022, and itemized statement of services for Fiduciary Commissioner George Armstead.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Probably moving second. Any questions? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Passes. No fiduciary orders, correct? I mean,
Additional.
No additional fiduciary. Okay, with permission of the county commissioners, if I could move the agenda around, I'd like to go to number 6. We have 2 special guests here. One who drove all the way up from Charleston, but we have our judge, our Honorable Tucker. If you want to come up and introduce, we appreciate that. And yeah, if you want to go in front of the podium, that would be great.
It is a great honor to be here, not only in front of you all because you're such good county commissioners, but to introduce my friend and former boss, yes, Kent Carper, who is one of the most astonishing men I have ever met. And I know he's here this morning about the amendment, and I will tell you that he is why I voted against it. So it is my pleasure, seriously, and an honor. Kent Carper.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning. If I was smart, I just wouldn't say anything now and just leave that on the floor and leave. But I'm not. I'm a county commissioner. What do you expect? First of all, President Bloom, commissioners, it's a privilege to be here. And I want to extend greetings on behalf of the Kanawha County Commission, Commissioner Salango, who you know very well, Tom, and also Commissioner Wheeler. We took note, the Kanawha County Commission did, that at the beginning of the discussion, debate, whatever you want to call it, over the constitutional amendments, that one county stood tall very early, and that was Mon County. And it wasn't easy. I mean, let's face it, it sounded almost too good to be true. It was. And you know, it sounded so great. I mean, how could you question it? Well, we did question it. And we went around the state and we talked and discussed this matter. And I'm not taking a victory lap. It's done. It's over. It's time to move on. But this was a good lesson. It's a good lesson for all of us, I think. Some of the issues that the legislature brought up are exactly accurate. We have counties that can't pay their jail bill. I'm not sure what your jail bill is. I suspect it's at least $2.5 million a year. That's a guess. Actually, I'll look so I do know. And it's going to go up $300,000 or $400,000 this year. Why is it going to go up? It's going to go up because the per diem's going to go up. And you say, well, you know, everything has to go up. I mean, look what's going to go up on the backs of local taxpayers. PIA, PERS, the jail bill, and the list goes on and on and on. Recently, recently the legislature enacted a couple of laws that sounded revenue neutral, but I will guarantee you it will cost Mon County $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. And you see that on property assessments, that new appeals board they've got. So why am I here? First of all, to sincerely thank your commission for standing up and doing what was right. It really was a profile in courage. Now, the fact that it was defeated by the voters in your county 2-1 proved you were right, but it was lonely out there, wasn't it, Tom? It was lonely. And I really do want to thank you for that. We are working on our legislative agenda in Kanawha County, and I do believe we have to continue to do exactly what we did on these constitutional amendments. There is strength in unity. There is strength when county commissioners throughout the state of West Virginia speak with one voice. The Kanawha County Commission has consistently refused to support any legislation that hurts any other county. We just don't do it. Big or small, doesn't make any difference to us. We believe that we're all in this together. And again, it is a privilege to be here. So if you have any questions for me, that's fine. I don't know much, but I'll try.
No.
Well, President Carper, now that Amendment 2 has been defeated, a lot of these things, and that was the hardest thing about the whole conversation, is because we all agree that we'd like to do something with these taxes, that they can be pro-growth. And the legislature has tried 2 or 3 times to accomplish this. This is as far as they've gotten. I think adding on the personal property tax on vehicles is also helped get them along the way. But, now, where do we go from here? How do we address these taxes? And again, I think we as county commissioners, I don't like to say, no. I like, if I'm going to oppose something, I'd like to have an understanding of what our options are and maybe bring an alternative solution. So as we as county commissioners, I think we need to come up with alternative solutions if we are going to attack these problems.
That's excellent, but you've got to be a part of the conversation to do that. And you were not part of this conversation. This was done down in the legislature when it was closed due to COVID and when they passed the constitutional amendments. So to answer your question specifically, there are ways to give tax relief to local businesses without gutting the Constitution. I'm not a tax expert, but I assume if the proposals by Governor Justice, which I support, by reducing income tax would be very good for our businesses that are in the state. But this proposal really benefited out-of-state companies. And I don't know if y'all had Walmart or Kroger come in here and ask you all, say, we're going to leave if you don't do this. They didn't come to me. So it was just too broad. It was just too inclusive. It wasn't well thought out. So to answer your question specifically, why don't we do like we did the first time? I worked with the Chamber of Commerce the first time, and they kept the constitutional protection in the bill. They never passed it because they didn't want to be responsible for paying those bills. So that's step number one. You can't just trust somebody. Don't worry, 5 or 10 years from now, we'll take care of you. We've seen that before. I think that's step number one. Step number two, I think a good conversation with the legislative leadership and county commissions and municipalities where we could come together and devise a way where it could be phased in. That was another problem with this. No state in the country did this all one time. There was no phase in. But you've got to have a plan. You have to have a replacement revenue source. I think that's the answer.
And you're right to be in the room, and hopefully going forward, we'll be in the room when they're having these conversations. Because as I said to our local delegation a number of times, the first couple times they've tried this, they got halfway down the road and then they started figuring out, okay, what do we do about the revenue replacement? And then they involved us because it affected us. Now, the conversation needs to happen on the back end. And along all these things, you're talking about jail bills. When they threw the jail bill in on this, we told them, is like, wait a minute, why are you going to send us money so that you can send us a bill and we can pay that bill? Take that back. And that might be a good faith effort for the legislature. They've got the opportunity, as a good faith effort to the commissioners. Take that back. take it back. Why are you sending us bills for us to pay? They go and send the money back to you. Just take back the jail bill.
I just figured out something. It's a lot easier to sit up there and ask questions than to try to answer. Of
Well,
course,
that was not a question. It was more of a statement, implicit statement.
I write my own stuff. I thought it was funny. You're exactly 100% correct. But at the end of the day, there's a way to do this. But you just can't come in, do one size fits all, the same deal. Your county would have been devastated by this. Our county would have lost 25% of our budget with a promise, don't worry, we're going to take care of your bills like we're on the check. And at the end of the day, the numbers they had in Kanawha County were off by at least $5 or $6 or $7 million. But we've got to do something. There is a EMS crisis in the state today, a crisis. There's all types of things that need to be addressed. So we've got to work together, and this is one problem, but something can be done to do relief for the inventory tax. But it needs to be a solvable problem where you don't just trust somebody 5 or 10 years from now to pay for something. That was our opinion. And remember this thing started out, first it was called Amendment 1, remember that? They made a mistake and didn't docket it correctly. It just wasn't thought out real good. So Amendment 1 became Amendment 2. And originally, I know exactly what they told y'all because they told us this. They said this does absolutely nothing. It just does absolutely nothing. All it does is take the shackles off, open up our ability to come up with a plan to give you the revenue you need. It did a lot. It did more than nothing. So on behalf of our first responders and your first responders, what we did was the right thing to do. All you got to do is ask a fireman, a policeman, a paramedic, a deputy sheriff. They knew this was bad for them.
Monongalia County residents and the county commissioners, I remember when we first started working together, and at that meeting in January in Charleston, the senator said, just trust us. And I think we can still use that motto, but I think now it's trust us when the Carper-Bloom connection got started, and then the county commissioners joined in, and now they trusted us, the county commissioners who speak for, the local citizens. And it was great to work with you. It was amazing how Hoppy Kercheval kept getting worried when the two of us were working together. He didn't know what was going to happen next.
He said, what's going on? Bloom and Carper agree on something finally. And we've had disagreements over policy over
Yes.
here, always respectful. But on this one, even at the beginning of this, we had different ideas what our message should be.
Right.
And our message was simply the truth. But Commissioner, I agree with you 100%. The inventory tax can be looked at. But there's ways to do this without just upsetting the apple cart. But today, you've got commissions that can't pay their jail bill. And I really believe that needs to be addressed. I think that's a crisis too. And your citizens will pay more when the per diem goes up. Other people aren't paying at all. That's not right.
We had one of our EMS Star City fold under. I know that's happening. You're correct. I know Joe Sattler, Delegate Statler, is very concerned about that, and that's an issue. And the third one would be, and I know we've talked about it, that if we are looking at areas to help the citizens, the automobile tax, the way it's set up, so we collect the money and then it's refunded. So that way it's those individuals who really paid it. And I mean, those are avenues we can look at, but I agree with you. We need to sit at the table at the beginning. And I think that's what we proved to the legislature, that, hey, we want to work with you, but let us be at the beginning.
I mean, no disrespect to the legislature. They had an absolute right to run this. I was always respectful to them. But you look at some of the things they've passed recently. I mean, I don't know how much revenue was taken from Morgantown when they did the deal with the car tax. I mean, I'll guess it was hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, you just can't keep doing that to local government.
Right, Granville is here.
And
Yes,
nobody
they
even
were-
talks about it.
Yes.
No, just went away.
I mean, and remember what they told us in this: we would never defund you, we would never take money from you. But that's what we've seen time and time again. So I've learned a lot on this one.
Well, we appreciate. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about since you drove up here where you have the time?
Well, I'm going to invite you all to come to our county commission. Commissioner Slango, Commissioner Wheeler would like to have you all when you get a chance to come by, and we'll do the same thing. But I really wanted to personally thank you all because it was lonely at the beginning. We could have had a meeting in a phone booth if they
Yes.
still had phone booths.
Well, Tom's so loud, it makes it seems like there's a lot more people involved.
I've noticed that.
Well, we thank you. We know
Thank
you
you.
have another meeting, and I know if the media wants to go outside and talk with you, that is fine. We do appreciate you being here, and you did say reciprocity that we would come down and talk with your county, and we look forward to doing that. And imagine what we could do as a state when we get more counties working together, and I think we proved it.
We need to do more than just have county commission meetings. We need to have direct
Yes.
contact with folks like you because we have about the same problems, they're just
Yes.
different.
I mean, the homeless, the drugs, these are things that I know you're dealing with, we're dealing with. And hopefully, sometimes being at the grassroots, and their honor then deals with them, unfortunately, maybe we could all work together to come up with some simple solutions and not do these grandiose things that looks wonderful on paper, but it's not realistic.
Things that look good on paper sometimes aren't good in the real world setting.
Yeah.
But I know you all have a busy agenda. It's a privilege to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Yeah. And if the media, I know you might want to go. Thank you for.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So we'll let them go outside.
She can live in the back room.
Oh, let's put, hey, Colleen,
She's
put
already told
put him in the back room.
yeah.
See, way ahead. See, that's why we'll put you in the back room so it's a lot quieter.
Oh, okay. Oh, you'll have a back room?
Yes. It's our escape room.
For an update, we're on item 4 when you get back.
Yes.
Just,
Okay, thank you. Thank you, and I appreciate the audience for allowing us to do that. We're very excited to have that, and we look forward to going to Kanawha County. Introduction of new employees and personnel changes.
I just had one that came in yesterday. MJ from Youth Services Center asked if you all would approve Brooklyn Griffin, part-time relief worker for the Youth Services Center. It's an on-call basis, not eligible for benefits. Part-time is $14.40 per hour. And her first day of employment is actually December 12th.
Okay.
Move to approve as presented.
second.
Papa moving second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, that's the only one. Okay, we will now move to comments from the public. We look forward to you to coming on down. Boy, somebody already jumped up there and,
Only because in my recent public meetings in the last 24 hours,
you were at the city council.
I was at the
Marathon.
Rotary yesterday morning, I was at the Board of Education, and then I finished the evening with Morgantown City Council. See the scars on my back? No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. Good evening, or good evening, I'm still up from last night. Good morning, Commissioners. Susan Riddle from Visit Mountaineer Country Convention and Visitors Bureau. I come before you this morning asking for, I guess, bringing an opportunity and also asking for your support. We are working very closely with the USA Diving Winter National event that is being held at the Milan Park Aquatic Center. They actually start to show up this Sunday, the 11th, and the competition runs from Wednesday, the 14th, through Sunday, the 18th. This event is our dress rehearsal, everyone, for the 2024 USA Diving Olympic Diving Trials. The not all the site selection committee, but a lot of the same individuals that were here before for the initial site selection visit will be here sometime during the week. There's all kinds of events and activities around this event. There's a fan experience. There's all kinds of, Santa Claus is going to be there. There's free classes, yoga, and just all kinds of things. And the CVB went ahead and we really need people to welcome USA Diving by putting butts in the seats. So we have about 500 tickets that we purchased and are distributing throughout the community. If I'm asking anyone, they are free of charge to anyone that sees me. I have them with me. Otherwise, they'll be at the CVB. If you have any social media, you can put. We are putting all out effort in advertising. The state's doing it. We're doing it. It's a little bit everywhere, as well as our guerrilla marketing, going out to all these meetings. So I have materials for you. And if you know of anyone, please let us know. I don't want to give the tickets out to anyone that's not going to come. What's nice about the diving events, you can come for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we're going to have 8 Olympians in Morgantown, Mon County, here over the next week. And before that, this Friday, the local swim club, their event that was only supposed to have 400 swimmers, we found out last Friday, that it's 950 swimmers. So I'll be out there Friday morning at 6:30 manning our mobile visitor center, Friday and Saturday morning to catch as many of those athletes coming in and out, to let them know that we want them coming to the Winter Nationals. We've done everything, school system, clubs, outside of the area. I got people on the road. So please, I have materials for you, as I will have them for you. We're also asking dignitaries to come and help with the award ceremony. So I have the schedule that's here. Okay. Commissioner Bloom has committed to one of those days. I have 5 days to fill. So if there, and Mayor Celine also committed. We're reaching out to others. We just haven't. We're running out of time right now. Haven't gotten out with everybody. And then another gift. I always come with something hot off the press. Our brand new visitor's guide that we've worked on for quite some time, along with our brand new rack cards and some mints, because that always makes Commissioner Bloom happy. So any questions?
We're looking for, I already distributed 30 tickets from yesterday, so if you could give me another 25,
Yep.
They're in demand.
We have them, and if we run out of our 500, there is also, our tickets are single session tickets.
Right.
They are only good for one day, but they're good for any day. They're doing group specials. If you buy an adult ticket for $20 for a day, you get a free youth ticket. I mean, they're doing all kinds of things, because our number one goal is to show support and get butts in the seats. Anyone that has a business, if you have a billboard from the 14th through the 18th, we would really appreciate people putting out their digital, or whether it's just the static letters, "Welcome USA Diving." It's that simple. The more that we show community support, the more that they're going to see that we want them to know that they're a big fish in a little pond. They're not just one of the fish swimming with the school like they used to when they went out to Indiana. So with that being said, I'll have all these materials for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is
Thank you.
exciting, yeah. And just to clarify, we're still in the running. We're one of 2 cities. We haven't gotten the Olympic. No, but we're still waiting. But we need to show good PR to do that. Good.
Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I know. The marathon, you had to spend 3 hours watching.
Huh?
I know, Ben's here too. I mean, Ben looks like he's
I'm helping with the forestry industry. It's a renewable
I'll look at
resource.
this
Yes.
dates, I can probably
Okay.
cover one of the.
Yeah, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, church groups, bands, I don't care. Makes no difference.
Oh, look at the alumni band there. Yeah.
That's the schedule and
I thought just a drummer.
Yeah,
Just a
just
bass
a drummer.
drum.
Okay. Thank you. Is there someone else who would like to speak?
Yes, my name is Jim Craig. I'm a resident of Cheat Lake, actually, not Morgantown per se. But I was born in Morgantown, and I spent 50 years living in Morgantown, and now 76 years in this county. And I'm here today to call your attention, which I doubt I need to call it to your attention. I know you don't have particular authority over this issue that I'm going to bring up. But I'm concerned about the death of downtown. I've been watching over the last 10 years Morgantown start to spiral down with regards to the businesses locating downtown, the population using our downtown. There's a lot of factors involved in that. Obviously, something called Amazon has kicked the butts of every retailer in the nation, including our local retailers. But that's fair market. I'm okay with that. And I think the retailers would be too, and they can participate with that themselves. Obviously, the shopping malls and so forth and centers that have been built around the county participate in kicking our local people But the thing that we see, I think we have some control over, at least I thought we did until about 10 years ago, was the type of activity that was occurring downtown. My family has invested considerable amount of money in the downtown because we believed in the downtown, and we still do. However, I've attempted to bring this to the attention of our city council numerous times over this same period, sometimes multiple times with the same council members. And I get this kind of stare, glassy-eyed look about, gee, I've never heard that before. This is the first, that's the look I get back is, oh, really? Is that happening? I can't believe this. I'm here today to ask for your support. I'm not sure what kind of support you can give, except I did note one thing that brought me here too was the activities that we see on High Street, Spruce Street, all within the confines, say, between Willie, Foundry, Spruce, and University Avenue, don't seem to happen on the courthouse square. They don't seem to happen on WVU property. Yet when I bring this up to the local representatives in city council, they give me this, it's a public sidewalk, it's a public street, and people have a right to that space the same as I do. But I don't see this activity happening on county property or on state property, so that kind of tells me that maybe the city doesn't care because they don't have the will to deal with the issue. So perhaps you could lend them your expertise, or the county sheriff, or the state police officer, the university police could lend their advice to our council on how they have been able to take care of this issue. People do no longer come downtown because they don't want to be hit up for cash by the street people. They don't want to walk over these same street people lying in the sidewalk. And as the property owners and the businesses are tired of seeing people defecate and urinate in their doorways, this happens regularly. The people who live downtown, of which our family has some involvement in that, in residences above these commercial places, live there and they find people sleeping in their foyers. They find packages being stolen off their steps and off their front porches. These are students for the most part, but those students bring business downtown. Parents are wondering, is this a safe place to send my son or daughter to school here? And it continues to spiral. So I'm not sure what the county commission can do, but I can just tell you I've gone multiple times to our city. And the city, of course, is the county seat of the county. So you do have some interest in it, I know. I'm asking for your support, perhaps in meeting with the city officers and getting together to try to figure out how this can be dealt with. And I want to thank Mr. Sikora, by the way. Well, I don't know you. I know these two guys for about 30 years. I don't know you. I've read about you. I've followed you for your term on the commission. Thank you for your service, and congratulations on being re-elected. It was well deserved.
Thank you.
That's all I'm saying. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Craig. Is there someone else who would like to speak?
Okay, good deal. My name is James Giuliani, 256 Prairie Avenue. I'm glad to get the opportunity to speak before you for 24 minutes today. That
was last night.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. But in any case, I actually didn't speak for 24 minutes. I actually stood there for 24 minutes. If anybody watched it, you can see there was, they didn't want to get some messages out, okay? So that being said, today, I'm here to actually follow. Jim, don't leave. Jim, don't leave.
He had to go.
Jim, don't leave. Okay. But anyway, this is so wonderful that Jim was here today. Not wonderful in the fact that what he's here to speak about, because it's tragic. Jim is humble. Jim Craig is humble. Jim Craig didn't tell you that at one point in time he was on Morgantown City Council and he was the mayor, because he's humble. His son and himself have made great investment into the city of Morgantown and our community. And do you see where this man's at today? This man's broken. Understand, I can come here at a different place now. But you remember when I came in here 3 and 4 and 5 years ago, I was broken. It's only gotten worse, Commission. So what I'm here today to do, and we're doing this, we're going to make this happen. Understand, we're going to make this happen. We're at a different place than we were 10 years ago, 12 years ago. I can remember Ronnie Justice standing up before CNN and the public and saying we're recession-proof. It can never happen to Morgantown, West Virginia because of West Virginia University and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that being said, with all due respect, times do change and circumstances change. And our circumstances have changed that West Virginia University is not growing anymore, okay, in the sense of enrollment. Retention is difficult. Now, that being said, are there many factors involved? Yes, there are. Some that we can't control, some that we can control. One of the things that we can control is what Mr. Craig brought up, meaning that right now, WVU is having a hard time recruiting and retaining students. When they come to our fair city and they come to our downtown and they see what's gone on, when the kids go back to them and go home and they say to their parents, this is what's happening. Now understand, I had a first row seat in this, okay? I'm the guy that actually helped have this happen in our downtown Morgantown because I lost 5 houses and 40 bedrooms, which the street people began to take over, okay? So let's try to draw this to a conclusion because I know you don't have a lot of time, but here's what I'm going to suggest just like I did last night. The public is the most important thing, and you all respect that. And the fact of the matter, through this whole ordeal that they had coming to a decision on defense in depth, I was never against a training facility. What I was against is how the proposal was. And this commission would have looked at it and you would have said, how do we do this? What's the best thing for our community? And that's all that I was there trying to do and trying to get the message across. So that being said, I'm reaching out to the commission. We're reaching out to MAP. We're reaching out to West Virginia University. We're reaching out to those core members within the city of Morgantown, my brother LJ included in that core group. We're reaching out to West Virginia University, more specifically, when I say we, me, and then bringing people together like you all have been trying to do. So it's not like I'm saying something new to you, but here's what I can say to you. I'm very passionate, but I'm not very patient, meaning that I don't have 10 years to do this. We don't have 5 years to do this. Right now, it needs to start. That being said, we have a wonderful business school. They're created in our downtown. They're actually wanting to create business incubators, okay? Now understand, we're in a sort of, it's kind of cuts both ways, the city of Morgantown. Our city of Morgantown is really just a very small set of streets, et cetera, and the wharf, and then we're going to expand that growth up into Richwood Avenue. So the fact of the matter is, we have a small footprint that we can change, meaning that if we look at it now and we partner with West Virginia University and their business school, if we partner with MAP, if we recreate the downtown, meaning we're not a Main Street anymore, we need to evolve from Main Street to the modern day society in the sense that what we need to recreate. And because we are a university city, we're not unique. Because many university cities are facing the same things that we're facing. So what I would like West Virginia University to be, Morgantown, West Virginia to be, and Mon County to be, would be the shining example how we can turn something around that we know. Mr. Craig just pointed that out so well. He's living it. We're living it. You're living it. You're down here every day for the most part. Do you see outside? There's nobody there. So what I'm suggesting is, and thank you so much for giving me this time because it's so important, okay? So let me just make sure here. Trust. Trust. We have to trust in each other. But as Mr. Carper so eloquently pointed out and made sure, he understands how it works. Mr. Carper understands, Commissioner, Honorable Commissioner. You all, I think, understands how it works. So what I'm saying is we don't have time. We need to form ourselves together. I've been reaching out to MAP. I've been reaching out to Ron and the different people, Tom, yourself, and all of you. And so what I'm saying is that I don't believe we have time. Time is of the essence for what we need to recreate, and we could do it. We can do this, Tom. We can do this, Sean. Jeff, we can do this. We can do this. Let's all work together and let's do this. But here's what we have to do. We cannot fight with each other. We have to come to it that everybody's willing to somehow make some sort of compromises for the best of our community. So what I want to say is there are a few people, Tom, you work with Danielle and such, so there's people out there that were started within the city because, as Jim said, where's the city in all this? Okay? So we got to bring the city forward, and we'll educate people. We'll educate people in the city. Thank you, folks, so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you for
Thank
your
you, James.
passionate speech. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Seeing none, thank you very much. We will move on, and do we have any grants? This is Colleen Kuhn, thank you.
The first one I have is for the Appalachian High Intensity Drug Trafficking Areas Grant. The Sheriff's Department was awarded $19,000 for that, so you'll need to sign the subaward agreement and the subaward conditions. And then next I have a request for reimbursement for the Community Development Block Grant in the amount of $3,386.88. The next one is for Governor's Highway Safety Program, Safe Communities, in the amount of $1,383.62. And last one is for impaired driving in the amount of $3,668.90.
Move to approve the president signing the grant documents as presented.
Second.
Properly moved second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes. Okay. Correspondence. Oh, okay. Letter received from Paul Papan. Yes. Papadopoulos. Okay. Spillman, Thomas, and Battle, PLLC. Good news, representing Northeast Natural Energy regarding the potential resolution to the appeal heard by the 2022 Board of Assessment Appeals.
I don't know if you guys, if you want to read the second item and then address both of them.
Okay. Letter received from Craig Griffith, Frost Brown Todd LLC, representing CNX Gas Company regarding the potential resolution to appeal heard by the 2022 Board of Assessment Appeals. It's good news.
We acknowledge receipt of the letters. This is part of the Board of Assessment Appeals hearings that have been going on. That it's actually, the last one's been continued. Right now it's in the hands of the state to come back to the assessor and provide the official documents, and then we'll reconvene our Board of Assessment Appeal to dispense with these particular cases. But this is, from what I understand, that an agreement has been reached with the state to resolve an error, and
Until you receive official word, you can't really act on.
Right.
correct. We have no action here until
Okay.
we receive.
But it is good news,
The
and we're
hearing
glad they
gets
worked it
reset.
out. Yes. Okay. Request from Forest Warren, Executive Director, Mon Emergency Medical Service for assistance in connecting with individuals at the state level to discuss possible infrastructure locations.
It is simply, we've talked, Forrest has brought this to us before. He asked if there's a possibility where they can use a cloverleaf exit, specifically in Cheat Lake, for to stage for substation for EMS services. What he did was he copied us, but he sent it to all of our elected officials. He left 3 off. I've sent it to the other two of the other 2, and I'm waiting for Representative Warner. I'm waiting for her to provide me with her email, and I'll forward it to them. But he's asking for their help in working with the Department of Highways to see if this could be a reality. And there are other instances where this is occurring across the state, so it could be a good thing. It's land that can't be used for anything else, so it and it could be put to good use. So we're here, Commission's here to help for us in every step of that project as it moves forward. But the first step is talking to DOH and getting the representatives to deal with DOH and bring it to their attention from their pulpit would be very helpful.
Okay, thank you. Any other correspondence?
Yeah, I just received one other item. The city of Westover responded with their signed copy of the ARPA subrecipient agreement for the Holland Avenue project. So
Great.
we have that in our hands now.
Okay, thank you. We have no unfinished business, new business, consideration to approve requisition number 15 for the University Town Center Series 2020 Property Tax District Administrative Expense Fund.
Requisition is for $3,350, and those funds will be paid to MuniCap for their services to the district.
Move to approve requisition number 15 as presented.
Second?
Properly moved and second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Consideration to approve requisition number 70 for the University Town Center Excise Tax District Administrative Expense Fund.
And that requisition is for $6,493.75. And again, those funds are paid to MuniCap.
Move to approve requisition 70 as presented.
Second?
Properly moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. To consider for approval distribution line easement between Mon County Commission and the Mon Power Company for relocating infrastructure along River Road on county property described as Grant District Map 13, Parcel 6.
16.
16. Sorry, thank you.
The easement was sent to legal counsel. Phil Megro has reviewed it and has given his blessing, so it's just a standard document.
Move to approve easement agreement as presented.
Second?
Properly moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And I just want to note that this is DOH is doing a road repair on River Road, so
Right.
it requires relocating Mon Power assets along River Road, so this is what this agreement will facilitate.
Anything to help that road.
Yes. Consideration approval to engage Snell and Wilma LLP to provide legal services in connection with the potential subordinate special district excise tax revenue bond anticipation notes for the University Town Center Economic Opportunity Development District, and authorizing the president of the commission to execute such engagement letters and other agreements that may be necessary in connection with such services.
This is for Fred Williams, who you all have engaged before
Right.
regarding specific tax issues for that district, and this would be for his services. All funds to pay invoices regarding this would be paid out of the administrative costs whenever the issuance is done.
Move to approve the engagement agreement as presented.
Second?
Properly moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Consideration to set a date for the public hearing as required by West Virginia State Code 8A3-7C on the recommended comprehensive plan submitted by the Mon County Planning Commission.
If you recall from last week, Mr. Gasbray presented this to you. As per state code, you have to set a date this meeting of 1 week. I'm proposing to set the date for January 18th. We would publish on December 28th, which is a Monday, I believe, or a Tuesday. That would give us 15-plus days as per
Okay.
state code.
Move to approve the setting of the public hearing date and to proceed with the notification process as prescribed by statute.
Second?
Properly moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Do we need to include the date in that?
Would be, okay, we can amend it if, okay, January 18th would be the date, if that's okay.
Yeah, then amend the motion and then
Yeah, as long as the maker makes
to
it, yeah.
include
he's-
the date is January 18th, 23.
Okay, great. Are there other new business items?
No.
Sean?
No.
Okay, seeing none, do we have any reports from elected officials or department supervisors? I can't see behind the post. No? Okay, I saw Mark coming, okay, so. Great, reports from county commissioners, Sean?
Since our last meeting, last Thursday, had a Board of Health meeting, and Ben will attest that was a very long meeting. A lot of good, I don't want to say good information, there was a lot of vital information that was provided in that meeting, and I've actually asked Dr. Smith and the QRT team to present at a future commission meeting, some of the information that was presented. Our QRT team won a national award, and just some of the statistics and the information about what they're doing here in Mon County is kind of mind-boggling. So I wanted to get more eyes on that particular presentation. So I'm looking forward to it. Last Friday I had my bi-weekly broadband sync. This week, yesterday I had a tag up with MAP Management, Russ Rogerston, Eric Carlson, about a couple items. Richwood was one of the items that we touched base on, and also the broadband project as far as the creating the broadband authority inside of the development authority. So it was a good meeting and a lot to follow out from that. Today's a normal day. Tomorrow is a second Thursday of the month, which is it's like another Wednesday. It's a busy day for me personally in regards to commission business. It starts off with the partnership executive committee meeting first thing in the morning, red team, development authority, and then I'm going to end the day going to the Morgantown High band Christmas concert. Friday's normal day, staff reports. Saturday, I have a busy day with, I have a breakfast with constituents. And then I have the Clay Patel FFA Alumni Fundraising Luncheon out at Wadestown. And in the evening, Mason-Dixon Historical Park Evening with Santa. So 5 o'clock, anybody want to go to the Evening with Santa, it'll be at Mason-Dixon, and I'm sure Angela will put on a wonderful event, and I'm volunteering for that event. Monday, I have a meeting with Commissioner Auditor McCuskey. He'll be in town for another event, so I hope to tag up with him and some members of our development authority. And Tuesday, we have our JUMA meeting where we have to approve our 3-year budget. So it'll be a long meeting, but we'll be approving the 3-year budget. I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about the nationals and the Olympic diving trials. That's all I really had. I did want to point out, personal note, my daughter made states as a junior. So I guess, Tom, I don't know what this means, but I guess she's
More practice.
third chair
Yeah.
in the state. So that
Wow.
means she's the third best drummer
Yes.
in the state, percussionist in
That's
the state.
impressive.
In the second year in a row. So she was told 2 years ago she wouldn't make this till she was a senior. So I'm really proud of her. So,
That's
and I want to
impressive.
thank Commissioner Carper for coming
Yeah.
in, and as always, James, thanks for coming in, and Mr. Craig. I think he already left, but we do listen, and we do. We're there to be partners and work in any way possible to help find solutions. So, thank you.
Well, Sean, if you take into account the natural southern bias there are towards these things, your daughter's probably more like first or second.
Yeah.
If you want to go on straight talent, so not to sell her short.
Well, I think some of this is unofficial, and I don't really know, but I think the first was Cabell Midland. So you're
There
right.
you go.
The second might be in this county, but the other two in front of her are seniors. So
Wow, that's great. Just a few things. This was quite a meeting. We had a judge, a county commissioner. I see our assessor. We had our county clerk, our chief tax deputy, and so this is great. And Susan Riddle from CBB was here also. So we appreciate all the community involvement, and not to forget Granville. Thank you, Latina. I appreciate the comments from Mr. Craig and Mr. Giuliani. I'll correct Jim in one sense. He said he'd known me for 30 years. It's been more like 45. He was my grade school basketball coach, so I've known him and his son Jamie. Jamie and I went to nursery school together, so I've known him longer than I've known about anybody in my life. And the problems they present are real. Hopefully we can work together with the community to try to figure out some solutions towards that. But we really appreciate the community input and coming in and putting it all on the line. Mr. Giuliani's continually passionate about his views, and we need that. We need people to care and to get involved and not just complain on the street. Actually come in and try to stick your face in the fan, as it were. Please get out and support the diving trials all you can. It's a pretty major event to have in little Monongalia County. When I say little, I mean in the perspective of where these events are usually taking place. So we've got an incredible facility out there.
and it can be used by the community. I'm not sure how many people know that. So get out there and check it out with this event, and you'll see all that it has to offer for the citizens of Mon County. So I'm also probably going to attend the Evening with Santa. I hope I've been a good boy this year, but hopefully that will come to fruition, I think. And also to wish our esteemed president a happy belated birthday. Tom, yesterday was his birthday, so
Thank you.
happy birthday. That's all I've got.
He's not bad for 89.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, he's every bit of 87.
Yes. It was a great week, and, you know, with birthday week, I did go to Philadelphia, and I just want to say, I really know I was back in Philadelphia as we were crossing the street. A car went through the red light. Somebody next to me jumped out, started banging on the car, and the two of them got into a fight right next to us. I said, I'm back in Philadelphia, so it was nice to be back there.
We need to get back in the car.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But no, but it also shows an appreciation why I really like coming back to Monongalia County and Morgantown. Again, I do want to thank President Carper for coming here, and I think what it showed is that when Mon and Kanawha County can work together, and I know there is a little bit of a concern I have because 3 or 50% of the delegates that are sent down there are in the minority party, and I do hope that they are still going to be recognized, but I think Kent and his group and commissioners show what can be done when we work together. And I think that was the big thing that came out of it. And I appreciate the other county commissioners who worked on Amendment 2. And also I was glad Mark Music was here to hear that because we couldn't have done that without the statistics. I know you were going to Charleston all the time. And I think the amount of money that you save the taxpayers is just enormous. So hopefully something good will come out of that and we will work together to resolve issues down the road. I do want to say again, Susan is going everywhere. I mean, I happen to watch. I torture myself. I watched the 3.5 hours of the meeting last night, and Jamie was also there, and James was there to talk issues. But USA Diving Champion is a prelim, and I really want the public to get out there and show what we offer as a community because that's how we sold it to the Olympic group. And we're very excited that they're coming in and they will see that it wasn't just a show, but it's actually who we are as a group. And I hope we can get that. I'm very excited about that. To what James Giuliani said, yes, it's a concern that I think you're right. As much as there's frustration and silos among governmental bodies, we have to put that aside to try and resolve those issues downtown. One of which is, and I know that James knows that his brother has been pushing it, a group of business people, and they've come to us to talk about the last 2 blocks on High Street, and I nicknamed it So High after Soho, to come up to start redeveloping that area, and I think that's the only way. The reason, it isn't that we have more homeless downtown. I want to get this real clear. What it is we don't have activities downtown, so therefore it appears with no one downtown, that's who you see. And we need to start redeveloping downtown and bringing people more downtown, and that is a group effort, and it's not going to be easy, but I think that this commission has ideas, and we are more than willing to work with any group to try and resolve that issue. With that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
One thing I
go
forgot to
ahead.
mention,
Yes.
the Christmas parade was Monday, and I
Yes.
don't know whoever put the event on, but it was packed.
Yes.
And it was a successful event, so thank you to whoever organized the Christmas parade. So that's all I have.
Great.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
We be gone.